Okay, story time of what was my very first deck. Where did I get it? How long ago? And all the details. So, if you want to hear this story, stay and watch. Hopefully, it's not a big long video. So, my very first deck I bought myself in 2014. I was following this a YouTuber that so happened to say that she had came out of the Jehovah's Witness, and that just made me connect with her very much so because I did too. And it is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. She wasn't talking about this particular deck or anything in the sort. I don't even know what her first video of hers I saw, but I just remember that she was talking about tarot, and I just really wanted to get my own tarot deck. So I went to Barnes & Noble, thinking that I wasn't going to find a deck or anything. I was just there because I love books. I love journals and stuff like that. So I was there shopping for those things. But at that time, I was still in that place where I was afraid because of my way I was raised that the tarot was something, working with something that is dark, like demons or devil worshiping or something like that. And I was really scared. Even though I'm a grown-ass woman, married, and such, I bought the deck and I kind of hid it from my family, from my husband especially. Not my sons because they don't give a crap, but my husband. Because I felt that he was going to judge me like my mother would, or my religion, my past religion would, or whatever my case might be. I was just like he was going to tell on me or something. And this one in particular was like $15. It was in a box, and it had a big size book, and it had one of those fold out papers where it has the Celtic cross, so you could learn. It was just totally learning deck. But I remember not connecting with it. I didn't know what the minor arcana was. I didn't know what the major arcana was. I didn't know anything about the deck. It was just like I was just lost when I would just read the meanings and stuff like that, and just kept looking for videos to learn the tarot. And I was just, and this is the back of the plaid. I didn't know that there was a lot of decks out there. Like, you know how they say tarot decks leads to Satan or devil worshiping? No, tarot decks lead to more decks because 100 in, and now I have appreciation for it. Now I have a couple of Rider-Waite-Smith decks. This is being the first one. After years of having this, now I can find appreciation for it. I love to come back to it. I love to study with it. If I'm doing a reading where I just don't want to think at all, like I just want simple answers quickly with not too much woo-woo here or too much, scandalous, dig into it and sit there and try to really, this is it, because it is so precise, so freaking clear. It's like just clearer than day. It couldn't be. I mean, at least for me and for a lot of readers that I know of. So I hid it for a while. So I would only do tarot readings in hiding. And then I was totally turned off by it. I wasn't clicking with it. I just didn't like the images. Part of it was because I was still thinking that I was doing something wrong. So it would just turn me off. And I think I put it away for a couple of months, and I wouldn't even bring it out. And then I kind of like kept watching videos, and I started to buy more decks. And as I didn't know that there were Rider-Waite clones, that now I know. So they're like different artwork and different artists, but they are based on this particular method, this particular structure. So I saw a lot of this one YouTuber said, you don't have to stick to the one that you bought just because you bought one, and if you don't like it, you could always go and find another one that the art really like pulls you in. So I'm like, well, cool, let's go do that. I don't think I went back to Barnes & Noble. I think I started to order everything from freaking Amazon, and then Amazon's like, oh, click here and we'll just send all this stuff to your house really fast. Click, 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 click. Not pretty, not pretty. I'm swear to God, it was just like I want to say I spent like a good $2,000 like in between 2014 and 2015 buying decks, crystals, Palo Santo, oils, witchy stuff, the works. It was crazy. It was crazy. But it was a very cathartic time in my life where I was trying to find my footing in religion, where I was so hurt by religion. I was just so sick of the ingrained teaching of the dogma of you're doing wrong if you're not doing what we're asking, what we're asking of you, to just, worship God, this God, and if you do anything that's, not that we're asking you, being brainwashed and such, that we were doing, devil's work and devil worshiping or whatever. And I didn't, it didn't sit well with me, and it hurt very, very much, because it was an internal fight where I just would wake up with, panic, thinking, oh my God, what if Armageddon comes tomorrow and I have these tarot decks with me? And I was just like, it just, things were happening in my life that they were just kind of like just moving and letting stuff go and bringing new things in. And when that happens, it's like a tarot energy, a tower energy for people that are readers out there. That tower energy was hard because it breaks everything down. Everything that you thought you knew, it just like crumbles, because it was just not real. It wasn't built in a foundation that was stable, and it was just something that needed to come down to be rebuilt in a more loving and more with more stability in your life. So after, I want to say, a couple of years in learning that the tower energy was not something negative, but something that it's uncomfortable, but when you embrace it and you go with the flow and you listen and you pay heed to what's coming on with those times of the tower energy, it's something actually very, very beautiful. I appreciate the tower card now, and it stalked me, I want to say, in 2000. I think it was the card of the year for me for 2018. So that was really crazy. And there was huge changes in my life, and I want to say that with pain there came so much more beauty, and with everything, because it's not something just personal to me, but with the people that are closest to me, with my home, my family, my husband, with my spirituality, with my learning, with everything. It was just immense growing that I appreciate, because I felt that the tarot helped me psychologically confront dark areas of my life where I had been going to therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, everything that you could, that is like for mental health. I was at for years on medication and everything, and nothing was working for me. Nothing. It was just covering a huge gushing wound with tiny little band-aids, and they would just wash out how bad I was living my life. And when I started to do the shadow work, which I hated that word for so many years. Oh, shadow work. You have to do shadow work. Your journal. La, la, la. I'm lost. What is that? What the hell is shadow work? And I would just research it and just find myself digging myself deeper in more tunnels, more rabbit holes that I could come out of. And it was, I would take huge breaks away from doing this work, because the people closest to me would tell me, it's making you more sick. You look like you're going through hell, and where's the benefit to this? But there was, I could feel it in my heart that there was benefit to this. It was letting me see things for what they really were, and that I wasn't trying to sugarcoat shit that wasn't real, or that I wasn't crazy when I was like, this is happening and nobody's seeing it but me. Really? And when I would ask the tarot, and then I would have readings with other people, because when you're new, you're going to be biased. You're going to try to make the tarot card, the Three of Hearts, the Three of Swords, be more pretty to, like, oh no, it's because you're gonna try to make it as pretty as you can, because you don't want to confront that's like a heartbreak's coming on. You're gonna go through times where you're gonna be like holding on to your dear life. They're just like, oh my God, when is this gonna pass? When is this gonna pass? But it would pass. And the beauty was that it would tell me kind of where it was coming from. Was it work, career, finances? Was it family? Was it personal relationships with my husband? Was it people that were pretending to be one thing but turning around and being two-faced? And for me, I've always done my divination through dreams. The dreams come in, and the dreams are usually clear as day. Sometimes they kind of like hide behind other people. Like if it's for someone else and it's not for me, I'll be I will be like living their life in the dream. Like I put myself in their body and I'm seeing the things that they're seeing, but I see it through my family. Like, oh, my grandmother, my uncle, my mom, my husband. And then I would just, for some reason, I would be talking to a friend, or I would be talking to a relative or something, and I would say, hey, I had this dream last night, and da 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 da. They're like, oh my God, that's happening to me right now. So I would be like, start to click, hey, this didn't sit well with me. Like, I don't really recognize this. Like, why am I dreaming this? This is so like way left field. Like, I don't know why. Like, is this my imagination running with itself? But no, it was because I was dreaming things that are happening to other people in my life, or people that were going to contact me. And then I was just like, I don't know if this is for you, but this is what came across. And they're like, nope, that's totally for me. And I was just like, damn, that's badass. Now I could start interpreting my dreams and not feel dumb asking clients, friends, relatives, hey, I was thinking of you now that you call me. Such, it's a coincidence that you call me. Not a coincidence, but you know what they think. It's a coincidence that you call me, but I had this, particular dream. This is happening. And they're like, no. Sometimes they will be like, no, I don't think that's mine. And then a week, 2 weeks, a month would go by, and they would call me, remember when you told me such and such? It happened. It happened, after, we talked. It still hadn't happened. That's why I didn't know what it was. But then after a while, it happened. So I questioned the tarot for, I want to say, the first 2 years that I had it. I got into tarot because I wanted to know if it was real. I wanted to know, what was I reading? What was I getting? Like, what is it? How does this work? Like, I just wanted to know. And I kept doing readings for people that I knew. I would just tell them, let's not muddy it. Let's not, mess it up. Let me just do a general reading, like a 3-card reading, maybe, like a half Celtic cross thing. Let's look at the, meanings in the book, because it was when I was still practicing, and they were like, yeah, that sounds right. That's what's, happening right now. That's where I just came out of. And yeah, that resonates. And even so, I would still question it and question it and question it. Is it real? Are they just like excited to hear 1 or 2 things that hit with them, and they're just so general that they just immediately want it to be for them? Like, I questioned this very much so. And I also am a true believer that I don't know if that people do it on purpose or with that intention of manipulating the cards. But I did this experiment where I would tell people that I was reading for, do not think about things that you don't want it to come up. It was experimenting. This is an experiment. They knew. I'm like, I just want to try something. There were free readings and stuff at that time. Do not think of anything that is, and I know it's kind of stupid. You're going to think this is stupid, but I'm going to share anyways. I want to be vulnerable. So just chill. Don't think of stuff that you don't want me to pick up. Just think about the stuff that you want me to pick up. Like things that are happening in your career, or in your love life, or in your family, or in your friendships, or whatever the hell it might be. But things that you don't want to deal with, like stuff that is embarrassing to you or whatever, try to not even think about those things. Just think about the stuff that you really want me to bring up on the thing. Guess what will come up? The freaking embarrassing things, the things that they were hiding, their secrets, were just all over the reading. I'm like, I need to stop telling that. I knew then that I couldn't say that to anyone else anymore after that, because that was exactly what, I don't know if I should have even shared that, because that's kind of like a little bit evil thing, that you're doing something that's manipulative or something. I don't know what I was just experimenting in that. It was funny that was the outcome. I would have sworn that in my naive ass, this was like years ago, that the particular reading was going to be really like bringing in what they really wanted to know, like stuff that they wanted to hear, that was going to come out. No, it was the secrets, the dark stuff, and even stuff that they're like, I haven't even thought about that in years. Like stuff that was really stuck in their subconscious that really wanted to come out would come out. And it was just like, hi, surprise, remember me? And they will be like, how in the hell did you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. So that was really cool. I haven't done it in years. I'm gonna have to try it again on one of my kids just to see what they're doing. No, I'm not gonna do that. I know there's a lot of ethics to all this stuff, but yeah. So that's my very first tarot, and I couldn't even tell you what was my second tarot because there were so many after that I can't even say which was the second or third or fourth because they just came in boxes. And no, I'm not ashamed. It is what it is. We do what we love. I for many years there, my family would say that they're like, you're getting more into trouble by having all this witchy stuff and being an empath. It's affecting you so much. You're getting sad and depressed. I'm like, I was already sad and depressed. I was already knocking on death's door saying, hey, can you fucking open this door, for many, many years. If anything, it quieted down those voices for me and said, there's so much more, and these are not all your feelings. These are not all your feelings. You're just feeling the collective of whoever's by you, with you. That's why when I'm by myself at the core of like, I need a good 3 to 4 or 5 hours to be by myself to really let all of the energy clear out and cleanse out and disconnect with my family because they're so close to me. That, you know how they say that sometimes Pisces are empaths? I'm not, empaths in general, but I don't know. They've always said this about Pisces, that Pisces don't have their own feelings, that they don't have their own stuff, emotions, that they're always just taking on everyone else's. I could really see why they would say that, because when I'm by myself for like a whole day, I feel very meh feeling, like a very, it's not a bad feeling or a good feeling. It's just very content, where I'm not even sure what I'm feeling. I just know that it's just a feeling like when you get dazed and you're just staring off at space and you're just kind of like, oh yeah, kind of like, got dazed, dazed there for a second, whatever. But it's like a continuance throughout the day, where it's just like, what have I been thinking all day? And I haven't in those moments, because I haven't had interactions with people. I'm just sitting with my own self and I'm like, man, I really don't have it so bad, because I don't really feel sad or depressed or scared or doubtful or overly excited or anything. I just feel like, this is pretty cool. I can live in this vibration, Of course, I really, really enjoy when other people are really, really happy and very enamored and in love and giddy, because those are really, really fun feelings. But I could do without those if I just didn't have to feel the ones that are very, very freaking negative, that want to, pull your hair out and you're like, oh my God, how can this be so bad? But yeah, so that's my story, and I hope you like it. And I'll see you in the next video, and I'm going to record a whole bunch of stuff, so you're going to see me with the same witchy shirt with my tarot card and my runes and my crystal ball. And where else is on here? Ooh, has so much stuff. Can't see it all. And my favorite cardigan of ever, if you ever seen me in any of my Instagram pictures or anything, I always rock this cardigan. It's my favorite. You would have never thought where I got it. Cavender's Boot City. So that's it for now, and thank you for watching.